how's it going?
Welcome back to another video.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Jasmine.
We're Sweet Simple Vegan.
And on our channel, we share all things vegan every single week. So we share recipes, lifestyle, tips, vlogs, everything in between.
Every Wednesday and Friday.
Yeah, so welcome to our channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're a returning subscriber.
We're happy you're here.
So today we're putting together some vegan sheet pan meals, and we thought that you guys would enjoy this. You love things that are quick and easy, so do we, and these recipes are perfect for that.
And they're delicious.
So the first thing we're putting together is a roasted red pepper pasta with a bunch of veggies, gluten-free pasta. I mean, you can use any pasta you want.
This is really
we have
good.
right in front of us.
Delish.
And
then we're making a lemon pepper tofu with asparagus, and we're gonna serve that with rice too. We didn't put the rice on the sheet pan, but you know.
So our idea for this is to have a bulk of the ingredients prepared on a sheet pan, and then while those are baking, you can make pasta or you can make rice on the side just to give more
substance.
I'm gonna give more value. I don't know if that makes sense to the recipes, so you're a little more satisfied. So yeah, let's just get into this video.
Let's do it.
First up, we're gonna start off with sheet pan pasta. So for this, I'm going to roast a head of garlic, and what I'm doing is cutting off the top of the garlic and also peeling the outer skin off of the garlic. I usually peel the skin first, but I totally forgot here, but either will work, honestly. So we're going to wrap this in some parchment paper first, and then we're gonna wrap it in foil. And I just do this because I prefer not to have aluminum foil directly touching the garlic, but it's your personal preference, whatever you wanna do. So we're gonna wrap that up and set that aside. And next up, we're just going to chop our veggies. So I'm just roughly chopping a few of these because we're gonna blend them into the sauce. So the onions, I'm just chopping them into large chunks, as well as these tomatoes, I'm just cutting them into large pieces, and bell pepper as well. We're gonna blend all three of those, so you don't need them to be really uniform or bite-sized pieces. And we're also adding in some vegan sausage to this recipe. This is optional, but recommended. And we're using the Tofu brand here. Grab yourself a lined sheet pan, and to this I'm adding the onions, tomatoes. We're also adding cauliflower to this. You can use broccoli if you prefer that too. Vegan sausage, the bell peppers, and some mushrooms. And lastly, I'm just going to pop that wrapped up garlic head onto the baking sheet. Season everything with some salt and pepper as desired. Pop this into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes, mixing halfway through. We're going to serve this over some pasta, so to a boiling pot, I'm just adding in some gluten-free noodles. And about 2 minutes before the pasta is done cooking, we're going to add in some chopped up kale. This is optional, but recommended. It's always a good idea to add some greens to your pasta. And we're just going to cook this until, well, the pasta is done. And once it is finished, we're going to strain the pasta and kale mixture, add it back to the pot. Here is what everything will look like once it is finished roasting. And I also wanted to show you a close-up of the garlic head. The cloves become nice and soft, nice and creamy, and when you squeeze the head, the cloves should easily push out. Next up, I'm grabbing a high-speed blender, and to this I'm adding the tomatoes, onions, and bell peppers. And also get as much of that juice as you can off of the pan. Then we're going to squeeze the head of garlic. I put the whole head, but you could put as little or as much as you would like. Next, I'm adding in some vegetable broth. You can also use the pasta water from the pasta that we cooked, but I chose to use vegetable broth because it adds an extra layer of flavor. And we're also adding in some red wine vinegar. For seasonings, I have nutritional yeast, oregano, salt, and pepper. And we're just going to blend this until everything is nice and smooth. Pop that open, and we're gonna add in some fresh basil, and we're just gonna pulse that in. Give your sauce a quick taste test and adjust the seasonings as desired. And then everything left on the pan, we're going to throw that into the pot as well. So we have the mushrooms, the sausage, and the cauliflower. Pour in your sauce and make sure you get every last bit of it. Then we're just going to mix that together until it is nice and uniform. I have it over low heat here. I'm just heating everything through, and that's it. Serve this however you'd like. I just served it with a little bit of vegan Parmesan on top, and it was perfect. And for our second sheet pan meal, we're making some lemon, pepper, and herb tofu. So first up, I have a pressed block of tofu here, and I'm just going to cut this into cubes. Then I'm just slicing half of a large lemon. I'm going to set this aside. I'll show you what we're doing with it later. And we're also going to put some fresh herbs in this. So we have rosemary from our garden. It's like the only thing we're growing. I'm so proud of it. I'm going to add some sage and thyme to this as well. This is a little fall-inspired recipe. And these herbs are actually from our friend Caitlin's garden. So we got some fresh herbs here. It's gonna be really good. And we're also going to mince some garlic. I have 5 cloves here. You can use less than that if you prefer. I just love garlic and I always use a lot, so I thought this was the perfect amount. Next up, grab a large bowl or even a reusable bag, and to this we're adding in our marinade. So we have some lemon juice along with some tamari, or you can use soy sauce, vegetable broth, the garlic that we minced earlier along with the fresh herbs, salt, and some pepper. And we're also adding in a squeeze of hot sauce here, optional, but adds a good kick. So just mix that together until it is nice and uniform. We're going to add our tofu in and just mix that up until everything is nice and coated. And I'm actually going to be mixing this every 10 minutes for 30 minutes to an hour to allow the tofu to marinate. Once the tofu has finished marinating, we're going to add that to a lined baking sheet along with some fresh asparagus. And what I'm doing here actually is using whatever is left of the marinade and tossing that through the asparagus. It's a great way to prevent waste, and it makes the asparagus that much more flavorful. So we're going to toss that together. I'm just using my hands. It's the easiest thing to do. And I'm going to grab those lemon slices and place them on top. And then we're going to pop this into the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes, flipping halfway through. While that bakes, we're going to prepare a tahini dressing. So to a bowl, I'm adding in some tahini, along with maple syrup, salt as desired, Dijon mustard, some garlic powder, and some water to thin the sauce. I'm just gonna add a little bit at a time and mix as we go. I'm also adding in some fresh lemon juice as well. So just continue mixing and adding water as desired until it reaches your desired consistency, and you can adjust the seasonings to your taste. Once the tofu and asparagus has finished, we're going to remove that from the oven and remove the asparagus from the pan. And what I'm actually going to do here is raise the temperature of the oven to 420 degrees and then pop the tofu back in for another 20 minutes or so until it is browned and nice and firm. And for the aesthetic of this video and the photos, this was the baking sheet. I actually transferred everything here so I could take pictures. It looks nice and clean. I just wanted to show you that behind the scenes. We served the tofu and asparagus over rice with the tahini dressing and some sesame seeds. You can also serve this over pasta and use the tahini dressing as a sauce. Just water it down a bit, add some nutritional yeast, and that would work really well too.
Let's eat.
All right, let's dig in. Here we go. Official taste test.
Chris actually, I've tried this already, but Chris hasn't, so.
Ah,
Ew.
that's good.
So, Chris's mom made us a similar pasta yesterday with just a bunch of random things we had in the fridge and things that we got at the farmer's market. And it was so good that when we were trying to figure out what recipes to make this week, I changed my whole plan. I was like, we're gonna make a sheet pan pasta and base it off of his mom's recipe because hers was really good. This
Too
is
bad
really
she's
good.
not here to try it. I think she would really like it. I really like it. And we have another recipe that is not in front of us, but I promise that one's good too.
That one's good too. So, I was gonna say something.
Think about it.
Both of the recipes we made in this video will be linked down below as usual. We have a ton of other recipes on our YouTube channel and on our website, sweetsimplevegan.com, if you guys want to check that out.
As mentioned earlier, we post videos every Wednesday and Friday. We do a lot of fun stuff over here, so if you're new, please subscribe.
Your schmutz on your chin, sweetheart.
I always got smush on my chin.
Let me get it.
Oh my god.
Let me get it. Okay.
As I was saying, please give this video a thumbs up, comment down below, say hey. We love to hear from you guys, and we're really happy that you're here in the first place. So,
yeah.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.